Combine is one of the big get-togethers as far as prospects go. Leading up into the draft, there's free agency, which starts March 16th. That's when you can talk to the guys and figure out who you're going to be able to sign. Then the draft comes after that. Andrew Berry was asked about the positions that appear to be needs, wide receiver and defensive line.
I wouldn't necessarily say that they're necessarily a top priority, Tony. Obviously, we have to get more players under contract in both of those spots, needless to say. Ultimately, we're going to prioritize opportunity. And I think there are a number of ways to assemble the team or construct the roster that ultimately allows you to reach your goal of winning games. So, we'll take the next couple weeks and like I said, try and map our resources to opportunities.
And again, Andrew Berry has been really good at doing that the last 2 years. That means if there's a trade, you make a trade. If it's a free agent, you sign a free agent. You use any means necessary to upgrade the roster. That's kind of what Andrew Berry is saying there, correct?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. I mean, you got to exhaust every avenue. If that means talking to every GM in the league and trying to figure out a trade that makes sense for every team, or going through every free agent and trying to get the best deal possible, and then going through every draft prospect and saying, man, do we need this guy? Does this guy fit our culture? Does he fit where we're looking for here in Cleveland? I think they've done a good job drafting. I think they've done a good job in trades. I think they've done a decent job in free agency. I think free agency in the NFL it's interesting. You're not often seeing huge name free agents with huge deals work out really well, unless it's maybe a quarterback on an extension. I mean, the NFL is kind of an extension business to where guys, they play with the teams that they kind of were brought up with because you want to lock those guys in for the best money possible, the best deal possible. So I think the Browns have done really well with extensions, and I think that, we'll see how that continues this offseason, maybe getting Jadeveon Clowney re-signed, maybe getting an extension for Denzel Ward. I think that'll be more of the same there, but I think you're right. You look at every kind of avenue to improve the team, and I think that, unfortunately in the NFL, I think free agency can kind of be a little tough in terms of, bringing in the quality of the player that matches the caliber of the paycheck they're going to bring in.
Yeah, and I would agree. And in thinking about that, after you said that, every system's a little different. So you might be asking a wide receiver or a linebacker or a defensive end to do something different in your system than what he was doing in the previous team's system. And that's why free agency is kind of dicey.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you've seen with Austin Hooper, right? Austin Hooper was great with the Atlanta Falcons, played in a Super Bowl with Matt Ryan, really kind of lit it up with them and was, earned a big contract. And then, came to Cleveland, kind of was maybe not promised, but was kind of told something different than what actually was going to happen. And, you've seen the production drop off. So you're right. Every system's different. And that's what the difficult part is. You saw a really productive Austin Hooper in Atlanta. Maybe he wasn't asked to do as much pass blocking, or maybe he wasn't asked to do as much in terms of the mental aspect of the game that Kevin Stefanski is putting forward. So it all goes into it. And I think that's why you can spend big money on an offensive lineman, because, lo and behold, it's pretty much the same thing. You just got to, execute. But for receivers, for guys like that, it's a little different. So the Browns are in the market for a receiver. I don't know if they'll go in the route of free agency or if they'll kind of stick to the draft and trades.